All right. PGA Tour time. One more regular season event to go for the 2023 season. And after the last few weeks on Sundays, it couldn't get here any faster. The last two really boring Sundays on the PGA Tour. But
Yeah, and last week's one of those weeks. I could have made 50 bets last week, and I would not have landed on Lee Hodges. So it's like, just
oh,
chalk it up as a loss and move on to the next week.
yeah, I had Lee in my one of my long shots in Canada, maybe. And I brought him up a few times. So what I did a parlay after he had such a great first day. I was like, oh, of course, one of these long shots that I usually put a buck on. I didn't do it this week, but I got to take advantage in case he winds up winning. But I don't want to really put because he's already 10-1 now. So I put like $2 on him in a parlay with the guy I wanted to win the NASCAR championship, who was like 25-1, and that pays out 1,000 now. So I was like, okay, I don't get the money now, but at least I don't have to put up like $100
Right.
to make
Yeah.
1,000. I only put up a couple. So
Something,
at least I got something
small.
out of it.
Exactly.
And that's what we try to tell viewers all the time. When it comes to the parlays, if you don't want to put heavy money down on short odds, just try parlays.
Yep.
At least you get something out of it. Hey, you can see on the screen. You see what that is? That's a like button, a subscribe button, and a notification bell. How about that? So this is the perfect show to subscribe to regarding the golf on the PGA Tour every week. Now we're running out of time, so unfortunately, if you're just joining us, we only have a few weeks to go. But still, don't forget, we're going to be back again in January. We're still going to cover. Now, Jan, I think, is going to come on board to represent the show to talk about the Ryder Cup because you're going to be gone by then, correct?
Yeah, it's just about that time for me to lock myself away and focus on football.
Yeah, and I'll be joining you, of course, very soon. But we have a couple more weeks to go. When do you leave?
I mean, I think we were planning on doing this week and then the following two.
So we're gonna go through the playoffs.
The first two events, right?
The first two. Okay.
Yeah.
So Jan will we'll get Jan on for the championship round, and then Jan because Ryder Cup is not for another few weeks after that. So there's still time. A month, I think. So and again they're in Rome. So I'll get Jan and I will wrap up the season, and then we'll do the Ryder Cup. Jared's got a couple more shows to go, so let's take advantage of that as best we can.
I'll tell you what for the Ryder Cup, since I won't be on that show, I'd be putting some money on the European side.
I know it's they're about what plus 160, 180.
Yeah, plus 180 is what I saw. I was looking this morning. I didn't do it yet, but I think I might soon.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think the Americans are the favorites, obviously, but I think it's closer now than it looked like it would be 6 months ago.
Yeah, I haven't really done a whole lot myself. Matter of fact, I'm not even sure if I popped up because the teams are going to be announced like right after the playoffs, I believe. So I think like within a day or two. I mean, we're going to know the six that get in.
Yep.
But they're going to choose the final six pretty much right after the playoffs. So the big talk is Justin Thomas. And I know he's really good in Ryder Cup play, but hey, you know what? If he doesn't play well this week and he doesn't make the top 70, he cannot make the Ryder Cup team.
Agreed. If he doesn't make the playoffs, he's out. If he does, and he shows some signs of life in the playoffs, I think he still has a shot. I think they want to take him, but they can't right now with how he's played for the past 2-3 months.
Yeah, let's see. Does it have anything in here just yet? Of course, Zach Johnson. He's the man. Let's see. We have what is it here? 184. How many players? Why does it have?
It's 12 aside, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. Let's see. Why does it have here? This must be just based on, I don't know, because they have, I don't even know why they have it like this. This is for the Ryder Cup team in 2023. They still have Daniel Berger. Why do they have Daniel Berger in here? I mean, this is a bad job at the Ryder Cup website.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got
Is
Daniel.
that the 2019 team?
Yeah,
still?
right. It's like they carried it over. It's a bad job. Boo. Yeah, that's not good at all. But yeah, because I'm looking to find out if let me see. Let's see. There's some rankings here. Let's see. Well, you've got Scheffler, Wyndham Clark, Koepka, Schauffele, Cantlay, Homa. That's 6. Spieth is 7. Morikawa is 8. Bradley gonna make it?
Did you say Harmon there? Because that sounds like it's not updated since.
No, I did say Harmon. Yeah, did I? I think so. No, maybe I didn't say him yet. Yeah, because the Harmon. Rankings, you got Scheffler, Clark, Harmon, Koepka, Schauffele, Cantlay, Homa, Cam Young. But again, the top 6. So the 6 are Scheffler, Clark, Harmon, Koepka, Schauffele, and Cantlay.
Yep.
Homa is definitely going to make it. That's 7. Spieth will make it. That's 8. Morikawa should make it. That's 9. I think Ricky's going to make it.
Yeah, I think Ricky's in.
That's 10. And then it's up to Cam Young, who shouldn't make it right now. Bradley, Morikawa, Burns, JT, McCarthy,
Finau.
Yep. So yeah.
Yeah, I think there's 2 spots up for grabs, and there's like 5 or 6 guys who still have a chance for those final 2 spots.
And let's see what it says. U.S. Let's see what it says for the European team. The same thing. Of course they don't. Anyway, but the European team.
It's Rahm, Rory, Hovland. That's a good start.
Yeah, let's see. You got McIlroy, Rahm, Hovland, Hatton, Fleetwood. Those are 5. Right now, I think McIntyre is actually in it.
Okay, cool. I think Lowry will be on the team. Rose will be on the team.
They've got it right, by the way. The European side, they got it right on the Ryder Cup 2023. They have 6.
They're always more organized than the Americans,
right? They got six faces that haven't been filled yet. Obviously, bubble players. Maronk, he should make it. No, I don't think there's any question.
Yeah,
he's been big time.
Yep.
Matt Fitzpatrick has to make it. I don't care. Come on.
Yeah, he's like the European JT, although he hasn't played that poorly.
But the fact is, at least he's got a win.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And
he'll make it.
They're not as deep.
Right.
Sepp Straka should make it.
I think so.
Yeah. Yep. Not Yannick Paul. I don't know. I guess. Yeah.
I think he's had a good year on the Euro Tour, hasn't he?
Yeah, but it's. I don't really think of him, to tell you the truth. When I watch European golf, I don't even think he's done much lately. So if he does, you won't see him much. All right. So anyway, we'll talk more about the Ryder Cup, and I know we also talked about doing. Maybe we'll do that next week because we were gonna get the odds. Did you say they had odds for the playoffs?
Yes, I know Caesars. If nothing else, Caesars has playoff odds. So yeah, we can do a little on that.
Yeah, we'll do that next week. And the FedEx Cup Playoffs, of course, this is it. Top 70. And for instance, Austin Eckroat is 70 right now. And Ben Taylor is 71. So we're going to go through, because this is a good field this week. Definitely compared to last week. And we're going to talk about the players that are on the bubble. So let's just get right to it. And matter of fact, I'm going to post let's get your stats up there first. So you've got the course history, of course, in the last 5 years. Your specialty stats this week are top 10 par 4s between 4 and 450 the last 6 months, with Denny McCarthy in the lead.
Yeah, 8 of the 18 holes on this course at Sedgefield fall under this range, which is about as concentrated as you'll see in any PGA Tour course. This is just like your classic short positional golf course. So you're definitely looking for those types of players. And I think a lot of the players that come up on this top 10 list are guys, I looked at betting or did bet, McCarthy, I did end up betting number one on this list. But you see, it's a lot of the, shorter accuracy type players, Aaron Rye, Brendan Todd, Chris Kirk, Russell Henley, those types of players that can and usually do play well here.
And then we're going to pop up, we'll pop up the picks too. So let me get them in here. Actually, let me go ahead and move them to the forefront. So there are the picks. And I have 6, and Jared has 5. And you can see his top pick happens to be the same player who leads the stats that we just talked about there, and that's Denny McCarthy. And yes, I mean, he was an easy pick too because of the fact that his odds really surprising. Don't you think it's surprising in this field that he's 35-1?
Yep. Again, I always do my golf research on Sunday night. And so I sort of have a list of names in my head that I'm going to look for first thing Monday morning. And I was kind of thinking, I was hoping to get McCarthy at 30. I thought he might come in at like 28 or 25. So when I hopped on this morning and saw 35, that was like an auto bet for me. I fired it first thing this morning when I woke up.
Yeah, I mean, because if you look at it, I mean, it's ridiculous because you got name players like Scott, Lowry, those two specifically. I'm not going to bash Scott because I might as well just cat out of the bag. He's my top pick. But McCarthy's clearly playing better than he is. And you're getting 35-1. I mean, I would have taken McCarthy. You took him, so I stayed away. I'll definitely put money on him. But Scott, well, look, this is about McCarthy because Scott is not playing as well as McCarthy, and you're getting better odds on McCarthy, who has, he missed a cut at the Open. Big deal. In his previous 4, all top 20s, 3 top 10s, and a runner-up. Come on. I mean, I'm not even sure Adam has 4 top 10s this year or 3 top 10s. And then Lowry, forget him. He's been a disappointment all season. And even like Burns, Matsuyama, and Im. I got to tell you right now, I think McCarthy might be again, he would never be the favorite, but I would actually make him the favorite, which is why you've taken him as the top pick. I mean, Sungjae Im doesn't have a top 15 in his last 9 events. Matsuyama does not have a top 10 since the TPC. Burns doesn't have a top 5 since his match play win, and it's his only top 5 of the year. Told you about Scott and Lowry. Henley is always overrated with the odds, so he's always going to be in this situation. And Denny McCarthy is behind all these guys, and not even by a little bit.
Yeah, I think this is wide open. I think, as you said, there's a lot of issues with the guys at the top of the leaderboard. I mean, I think Sungjae's there just because of his course history, right? I mean, he's second on our top 10 in course history. He has 3 top 9s out of 4 appearances here, including a second place. And it is the type of course that suits him, a shorter accuracy based course, but he's just, as you said, not playing well enough for me to want to bet him.
Yeah. So definitely the bargain of the event, Denny McCarthy. Doesn't mean he's going to win, but that's not what this is about. All right. And then again, like I said, my top pick is Adam, and this is more of a gut feel. That I just I'm gonna, because look, Adam is 81st in the FedEx Cup playoffs right now, so he basically needs a win. Now he could probably get in if he has a top 5. I don't know how it works, but he might be able to. But I mean, Adam's had his moments this year, and in this field, if he gets off to a good start, and remember he lost in a playoff just a couple of years ago here, so that's really what it's about. But Lowry is also on the outs. He's 76 in the FedEx Cup standings. He has 1 top 10 out of 5 lifetime here. He's coming off a missed cut at the Open as well. Yeah. But I would not touch Shane Lowry. And like I said, Henley's trending really well on this golf course. He's been better each time in the last 5 appearances, from a missed cut to a 5th last year. But he hasn't had a top 10 since the Masters.
Yeah, Henley's a good top 20 bet. I think he's a really safe bet to finish top 20, but I'm not betting Russell Henley to win.
I might even put odds. I might even bet him on top 5 odds, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. Yep. Well, he's top 10 his last 3 here. So.
Yeah. So if you probably get decent odds there. And then you've got, again, so you mentioned Im and Matsuyama, 3 top 15s out of 7, third in 2016. Burns is the top ranked player in the field, 20th, 13th in 2020 in his only appearance. But I'm kind of disappointed in Sam Burns this year. He got the match play win. I thought that was going to do something, but it hasn't.
Yeah, if I was going to bet one of those guys, it would be Hideki for me. His irons continue to be awesome. It's kind of, the putters let him down, which is pretty much the story of his career. But even last week, they were, early on, it seemed like he was going to be in the mix. I think he had a bad Saturday, I think it was, kind of fell out of it. But he's the one I'm most interested in, beneath McCarthy.
Hideki?
Yep, Hideki.
Hideki, yeah. He's
not betting him though. But I'm just saying if you made me pick one. If you made, and again, like for one and done, I think I'd give him a look if you haven't used him yet.
Yeah, one and done. I'm
going to use McCarthy.
Yeah, got to use McCarthy.
I have him in both
Absolutely.
of mine. Yeah, so.
Now another guy, if we're talking about some sleeper one and dones, I've got a couple myself, and that is that's a couple of my picks. My second pick, I'm going right back to Post on, and why not?
Yeah.
Runner up last week. If it wasn't for Hodges and his freak show, Post on probably wins. But he won this event in 2019, and in his last 4 events, 6th, and 2nd out of the 4. So this is his time of year. Talked about that last week, and he showed it again last week. So look, the only thing is, trend-wise, this is something interesting. No player has ever won this event on this golf course for a second time. So they've been playing at Sedgefield since 2008. Keep that in mind in your handicapping. So I believe that's 15 winners. And we have not had a repeat at Sedgefield. So nobody has won a second time at Sedgefield. And the defending champ is not here. Tom Kim. Apparently, he's thrown the old, I've got a bad bum ankle, even though I had a bum ankle. That was a big story.
That was a big story at the Open. He came to the golf course on Sunday on crutches, and then he shot like his 66 or whatever it was.
I like that. I like that approach from Tom Kim. He's got the crutches. Yeah. He's trying to. He's trying
66 or whatever.
Yeah, he's trying to pull a Kurt Schilling.
Yeah,
maybe he should put some blood on his cleats. But anyway, so yeah, the other guy is your boy. I'm surprised you didn't take him, Cam Davis.
Yeah,
sleeper, not a top sleeper, but I think he's right there. Why not? Because the odds are good. You're getting 40-1, and he's played pretty well with 2 trips here. He's 69th in the FedEx, so he has to play well, and he's coming off a 10th.
Yeah, it's funny. This is one of the weeks where I had like too many guys I wanted to bet, so I had to leave some guys off. Cam Davis was definitely one of them. Jaeger was one of them. I know you like. Benny Ann was one of them. He's been playing well and has a good course history here. So yeah, I like Cam Davis a lot. And despite the fact that he's a long hitter, he's had some of his best showings on shorter golf courses. I don't know if it's take driver out of his hand, he gets more accurate, whatever it is. He's done well on short courses. So
okay, so yeah, that would be one. And then again, mentioned McCarthy. He's definitely at the top. You have him on your one and dones. He has to be used this week. Same thing for Scott. If you have Scott, I would definitely consider him in that group. And then taking a look at your second choice, Aaron Rai. So Rai is still playing good golf. He's in that. He's still in that run. Nice last 7, including the 3rd in Canada. Played here last year, and that's another trend that most of the players that have won here have actually only played between 1 in 4 appearances before winning. So you don't have to have like this 7, 8, 9, 10 experience deal, which is normal considering it's only been a 15-year event. But still, Rye has at least 1 appearance, and that was last year. Not a great appearance, but he's playing much better this year.
Yeah, playing really well and just seems like a great fit for this course. Even if I look at the last 6 months in this field, so as we said, Rye is second in this field on those par fours between 400 and 450. He's third best in this field, strokes gained approach. He's fourth best in this field in fairways gained, meaning he's one of the most accurate drivers in the field, which you want here. So just seems like a great spot for a guy who has been playing well and I think is potentially trending towards a win.
All right. And then also your third choice, you took one of mine, but we've talked highly about Smalley. I had him on my fantasy team for a week. I dropped him, I think, for Brian Harmon. So I made the right call there. But look, Smalley, and even though he struggled in Scotland, big deal. That's Scotland. Yep. Before that, runner-up at John Deere. So he was playing his best golf. He was trending in the right direction. 29th to 13th in his 2 appearances. That's a really good sign. At 60 to 1, 55 to 1, whatever. Love him this week.
Yeah, so we've talked a lot about Smalley, and prior to that miscut at the Scottish Open, and it was the approach play that was awesome. That was fueled those couple top 10 finishes he had. Now the problem or the issue with Smalley is always the putter. If you look at him over the course of his career, he's a below average putter, but Smalley's a member at this golf course. And he's talking about how many times he's played it. And you look at the 2 times he's played the Wyndham. 2021, he gained 4.3 strokes on the green. 2022, he gained 1.7 strokes on the green. So he obviously knows these greens. I think and he's a better bet to putt well this week than he is usually. And if he can combine, above average putting week with the type of iron play he's had over the last month, then I think he could be right in it.
Like it. By the way, Justin Thomas, if you're thinking about maybe him pulling something out, let's keep in mind he's played this course 3 times. His best finish is 56th. Yep. And that's when he was one of the better players on tour. So this has never been a good golf course for him, when he was playing well. So his odds really should be moving like 100 to 1 based on that combination. I don't care what the field is like. But, look, if it
was 100 to 1, I would bet him.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Put a buck on him. Look, the fact is, even though he had all those personal things that are, all right, get the house and the family, and it's kind of, okay, we're settled in. Obviously, he's not settled in. Obviously, his head is just swimming with personal stuff. And that's it happens. So, yeah. Siwoo Kim, by the way, the 2016 champ, loves this golf course. 4 top 5s out of 7 with a runner-up and a win. He's not playing particularly well, and he's only 25 to 1. But this is as good as anybody has played here, except, of course, for Webb Simpson. This is Webb's best course. This is a local deal for him. He's played here 14 times. He's made 12 cuts. 11 of those are top 25s. 9 of those are top 10s. 6 of those are top 5s. 2 runner-ups and a win. But this is not that Webb Simpson. He has 1 top 10 since November of 21. And he's only that's why when I looked at 55 to 1, I was like, come on, are you kidding me? And I was like, all right, yeah, this is his best course. But still, it doesn't matter. It's just, he's just not playing well at all.
Yeah, and why did he not play here last year?
Good point. Yeah, who knows?
Because I know he was not very good last year either. So I wanted to see, how he fared with bad form here. He didn't play last year. So yeah, he's nowhere near my list this week. He's just, if he plays well, I'd be surprised despite the course history, just because he doesn't have a top. Nothing better than 52nd since March.
Yeah, it's terrible. And that's at places that he's played well at, too. So even though this is his best, he's just not playing well. Now, another veteran who's not playing well at least showed something last week, which is why I'm making him my 4th choice. And I haven't think I've taken him all year, but I'm gonna go with Billy Horschel as my 4th choice at 60 to 1. I'm rolling the dice that last week might have been the beginning, because he's talked about, like, within the last month, about he's getting more comfortable. So maybe last week was a sign that it's almost there. 13th last week. He's 116th on the FedEx Cup, so he needs a win. And if you look at it, this is a good course for him. He's made 9 out of 10 cuts, 6 top 30s, 3 top 10s, 2 top 5s, and a runner-up. Never won here. He started the year 18th in the world. He's now 48th. That's how bad he's played this year. But again, if he's now finally getting going, remember, psychologically he wants to get into the playoffs, because he's like the playoff master. He's got like all sorts of great playoff history in the FedEx Cup. So, who knows? That's all it is I have no idea how he's playing or how he's going to play. I normally wouldn't take him. If this was June or April, I wouldn't touch him. But with the FedEx on the line, 13th last week, why not? He's 60-1.
Yeah, for sure. He was on my list. Last night I was hoping to wake up this morning and catch the book sleeping with like a 100-1. He was like 200-1 last week, just because he's been so bad. But the books obviously saw. And I think last week was encouraging. Even look at the numbers. Off the tee was awesome. You always count on him to be a good putter, and like you said, this is a course he's played well at. So I think it definitely makes sense.
All right, Shank, that's your fourth choice. Now, we've talked before about Shank. He can be a missed cut dude, even though this has been a better year for him. He's top 50 now, coming off a missed cut at the Open. But before that, 4th and 7th, 4 top 10s in his last 7. He had the runner-up at Charles Schwab. Remember, he went into the Charles Schwab this year with 3 missed cuts and 5. So here he's got 4 missed cuts and 5. Yep. But, look, the good thing is you're getting 75-1. I don't like the fact that you still got to wonder whether or not this is just a right setup for him. But, I can understand why you give it a shot.
Yeah, I bet Adam Shank at like 28-1 3 weeks ago in a similar field, I think it was. And I know he has a bad course history there. I guess that's why he's now 75-1. And the fact that he missed the cut last time out. But again, that's the Open. That's almost a different sport over there when you're playing those links courses. So yeah, I'm more than willing to take a shot on him at 75-1.
I took Noren as one of my picks at 80-1. He's 102nd in the FedEx Cup standings. He's got 4 top 25s in his last 6, 2 top 10s, 13th last week. So he's playing his best golf of the year. And let's remember, this is a guy with 10 European Tour wins, but no PGA Tour wins. And I mentioned the PGA Tour deal because if you look at it, 7 of the 15 winners on this golf course have either won their maiden PGA victory or their maiden pro victory. So there have been a lot of players that have won this event that have never won a PGA Tour event. Anyway, I just think Noren is probably a good time to take him based on those stats.
Yeah, I think another guy, not as bad as Horschel, but Noren went through a rough stretch for a lot of this season, but has seemed to have turned it around the past month or two.
Oh, you mean the other Swede? Did
you say Norman? You bet Noren or Norman?
No, Noren.
Yeah. Noren had a rough stretch, didn't he?
Yeah.
Early on this season.
Yeah.
But he's been better lately.
And you went with our final picks, our long shots. You went with Doug Gim. Why not? If you take a look at it. Even though he hasn't made the cut in his last 3 appearances here. 27th last week. He's gone from 305th to 178th in the rankings this year. And he's got 9 top 35s this year, even though he doesn't have a top 10.
Yeah, the ball striking's just been really good lately. He's gained strokes on approach in 6 straight. He's gained off the tee in 6 of his last 7. He's 9th on that list we looked at of best players on the par 4s between 400 and 450. And Gim, historically a bad putter, but I don't know if he's figured something out. He's gained strokes putting in 4 straight events now. So maybe he can continue to ride a hot putter.
All right. And in my long shot, I've mentioned him the last few weeks. He continues to play well enough. That's Chasson Hadley at 150-1. And if you look at it, his last 5, he had 1 top 10 in 11 on this golf course. Doesn't sound great, but he missed 5 of his first 6 cuts here. Since then, he's made all the cuts, 5 straight, and he's gotten better pretty much the last 4 years, including 8th last year. And I think that this is a good time to take him. 27th last week. He's got 4 top 25s and a 6th place finish. which was at Barracuda. And he's made 5 of his last 6 cuts during that stretch. So I think this is a good time to roll the dice again on Hadley with such big odds.
Yeah, it's funny looking at his numbers at Wyndham. A lot of red early in his career, meaning he was losing strokes to the field, and he's gained strokes on approach in 5 straight appearances at Wyndham. So
yep,
seems like he's figured it out.
All right, and then as far as let's. Oh, by the way, so McCarthy is going to be your. Who's you going with possibilities with your second one and done?
I think I have Hideki left in my other, and I'm.
You think you're going to go that way?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. Other possibilities that we're thinking about this week. I mean, Bo Hostler doesn't usually put a 3 straight stretch run like this. All top 30s, 13th and 6th last 2. So he could be interesting. He's just never played well on this golf course. Let's see. Who else was I thinking about? I was also thinking about, let's see. You've got Higo. Higo's trending in the right direction. He's 72nd in the FedEx. I like Higo. He just missed my picks this week. And then Ben Griffin, 4th last year, 68th in the FedEx at 80-1. Those were a couple. How about you?
So again, I had a lot of guys I had to leave off the card this week. Adam Svensson has started to play well again. He went into a cold stretch for a couple months, but the last 2 events in particular, the ball striking's been back. This is the type of course I like to bet him on. I hope he doesn't win because that'll hurt. I might end up betting him just as a FOMO bet. And then Dylan Wu.
Yes,
good
round
last week.
Yes,
and last I looked, he was still 130-1.
Yes.
So I think he's worth it.
Started the year 505th. He's now 181st. He's got 7 top 25s this year, coming off his best finish of the year, 5th, as you mentioned last week. And he missed a cut last year, but at least he knows how to play. And he's 85th in the FedEx Cup, so it's a big week for him. That one I like. Sam Stevens, you've talked about him this year. I think this is a good week to take him. He's coming off a 10th place finish. So maybe
Stevens I like more on long courses.
Okay.
I don't love this course for him. That's why he didn't make my list. I like the player, just don't love him this week.
Yeah, first time he's playing here, so maybe that's and he's got to win to FedEx Cup wise. Streelman coming off a 2nd place finish. Putnam has made 6 straight cuts. Let's see who else. Glover. I know he had 1 bad week, but as we've talked about before, when you get a hot golfer, I'm willing to give him a week off, especially when you're talking about a 90-1 guy. And he's played here 18 times. Obviously not on this golf course, but in the event. And he's got a ton of top 30s on this golf course. So I think he's definitely worth taking another week for like $1. And
yeah, Glover was on my list. The putting kind of reverted back to old Lucas Glover last week, which is a little scary, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, because this is it for him. He's got to win or move on. And by the way, is Baddeley playing? Because Baddeley, I didn't notice if he was playing. I thought he was playing this week.
Yes, I have him in the field.
He's 250-1, which I think is definitely worth $1. He's coming off a 7th place finish. He went from 538 to start the year. He's now down to 228th. He's never been in. Well, he hasn't been inside the top 200 since 2016, which was the last year he won on the PGA Tour. So why not? I mean, one of our viewers actually mentioned Aaron Baddeley early on this season.
Yep.
And Jason Duffner continues to play. What's that?
So the putter's been red hot for Baddeley.
That's his mailing. That's what he needs to get going. And Jason Duffner continues to play well, by the way. Another made cut and a 20th place finish last week.
That's
good for him.
That's playing well for Duffner nowadays.
That is. That's why he's 500-1.
Exactly.
All right, so that'll wrap it up. Don't forget to check us out on Discord because we still get the opportunity to interact with you guys between Tuesday and Sunday. And that's the best and only way that you can do that. So check us out on Discord, link in the description area. We're going to be talking fantasy football as early as next week, possibly. So stay tuned for that. We'll update you for sure on next Monday's show, maybe even on Discord, because we have our draft coming up on Monday. So, well, that begins our draft, but it's a, what do you call it? A rolling draft?
Slow draft.
Slow draft.
It'll take a couple weeks. I think. Yeah.
So that's cool, though. I like that. And Jared, otherwise, we'll talk some golf again next week. Appreciate your time as always.
Sounds good. Good luck, Greg.
Good luck to everybody out there as well. We'll see you next week.